Hey, twin. I feel like I did something to my thumb. Yeah, girl. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. It's 1 a.m. It's not that late over there, is it? Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay. I'm definitely gonna go check it out, child. You know what? When I on Friday, was it Friday? No, Thursday night when I went to the gym, it was starting to get dark at 5 o'clock. I was like, it must be about to be daylight savings time. But Arizona doesn't change time. Hey Sharice, thank you for the gifts. You said, oh, I'm going to bed for real because I need that. Okay, well, thank you for stopping in, honey. I totally feel you, though. Mm-hmm. I don't like it's the only thing is trying to remember how the time difference is like in West Coast, because I mean East Coast is automatic, but I think West Coast now we are like an hour. I think it makes us an hour behind them or something like that. I don't know. Hey, Eternal Light. That's the only pain. I'm good. How are you? Oh, it's 3. Well, for us, I don't think it's 3. Because, well, it's not daylight saving time. Okay. Because when it's not daylight savings time, we're on West Coast time. Oh, that's good. I really didn't want to get on tonight. And I was sitting here trying to channel a collective message. And I was like, I don't have a whole lot of inspiration right this moment. And I felt like maybe that's what Spirit wants to talk about is when life be lifing. And look at the first thing that came out. And I said, I ain't have any inspiration. And Spirit's like, if you would get some rest, you'd be feeling better. Because, like, I've been on here a couple times when I have been so exhausted. So exhausted. You said was changing or was you thinking about food? Child, both. Look, both of them. I feel like Spirit is saying that, also it's not so much about what's going on currently, but thinking about the things that happened in the past and trying to make sense of it in the current time in your life. And what Spirit is saying is that when you are in your humanness and essentially have you never have true lack of direction because your spirit team is always guiding you and directing you and talking to you and all of that. But a lot of times in life, when we're in this energy of like just feeling like life is just coming against us, constant things back to back to back, then we feel like we have little direction and just kind of, a little stagnant. But Spirit is saying that it's a new day, is a new opportunity for brand new clarity. You don't have to dwell on the past. The past is the past. That was the stuff that you had to deal with before the Wheel of Fortune started turning in your favor. All the things that you said that you would be willing to go through in order to get to this point. And so, Spirit is like, it's safe. It's safe now. You ain't got to be closed off. You don't have to be on the defensive all the time. It's safe now to love. It's safe to open your heart. It's safe to trust the divine. And not that there was ever a point when you couldn't trust the divine, but they understand that when you're going through the toughest parts of your journey, it seems like they're not there, but they're really there, and they really are doing a lot on your behalf, because it would have been way worse. And the song on is Grave. And so I feel like I was saying before, that this reminds me of a casket, kind of like a death and rebirth. Look, what is Lotus talking about? You said was, I know I would be wanting to tell you to. I know I'd be wanting to tell you to go to sleep. She not gonna listen. We fix our stubborn is our nature, for real. And I just, like I want to discipline myself to just get on here, and I feel like the best time to discipline myself is when I really don't want to get up here. So I definitely get a lot of rest, like especially on Fridays. Like Friday, I be in the bed all day, and I mean all day. Like that's why that's why I got Onyx, because when I looked up his attributes, and it said that basic, because he's a Shih Tzu and a toy poodle, and his description was that he used to like Shih Tzus in ancient times were emperor dogs, and so they would just lay on the feet of emperors to keep their feet warm. And so it's in their nature to adapt to their owner, and that's part of like the doodle part. Um, but as far as like the Shih Tzu part, they used to chilling. They used to nap. They like the thing said they will nap when you nap, and I said we are a match made in heaven, honey. Okay. Yeah, spirit is like, look, no need for anxiety. We not doing anxiety anymore. And I was just talking about disciplining myself, and spirits like, yeah, we not about to be like this with the lack of discipline. We gotta get it in. We got to go hard in the paint. However, I definitely feel like the collective is about to be very booked. And I don't like the word busy, but I'm gonna say booked, because we don't have to take on every task. And spirit is like, I hear that song, we've only just begun. So yeah, with this new clarity, with knowledge of our gifts now, with that connection to the divine now, spirit's like, yeah, it's about to be on. It's about to be on. And spirit is saying we have to release this poverty mindset, because it's not gonna work where we going. It's not gonna work. Where we going with all of this, with all of these opportunities, it's just, like, we have to get into a different mindset. It's not about, there's a difference between like hoarding money and budgeting. And I can admit that I have not budgeted money well over my lifetime. And so I definitely have to do better about that. But also, too, this is the mentality of like just waiting for the shoe to drop, used to money coming in and leaving just as quickly as it came in, and not having longevity. But spirit is like, all of these days are behind us. All of these days are behind us. Okay? It's a new day. And the divine is all the way on it. And if you lived the majority of your life up until now in this energy right here, where it was just like, damn, can I catch a break? The transition can be challenging. The transition mentally can be really challenging because when you were in this hangman position for like 40 years and you had to sacrifice and continuously like struggle, honey, that is the energy we got to really erase from our memory. Hey, Lana. So you said, and so our day, and so are the days of our lives. I don't know why I heard that so far. For real, that shit is real though. My life was really on some soap opera shit. Like I loved the series Insecure so much because it really resonated deeply. And I loved her YouTube series even more. I like adored the YouTube series. And so like that whole insecure, awkward type energy, I totally resonate with that. And that's why I'm so adamant about the underdog winning out here. Because, baby, we have struggled long enough. You said my clock broke, so no rollback for me. Not it stays at 11:11. Keep it up, Tom. But I guess since you be chilling, you know, since you just be chilling, well, not really chilling, because you do have responsibilities, but it can be anytime you want it to, Tom. Yeah, Spirit is like, if you keep a heart of gratitude, then you can transcend the first half of your life, okay? Spirit is saying, keep a prayer in your mouth and your heart. And that's one thing I was talking to my dad about my granny today. And when I tell you that lady would get on her knees every night and pray, like she did not play about that. She was not one of those people that just went to church and that was it. She was not one of those people that would display, you know, like angry behavior or unchristian like behavior. My family is much older than me because my parents were older when they had me, but I never heard my grandma cuss unless like one time, only one time I heard her cuss when she almost hit somebody at the slam on brakes. She's like, oh shit. And then I never heard her gossip about people. And that's one thing that adults need to get away from today, and I'm guilty of it myself, is not letting, even if you do certain things like gossip and, you know, whatever, not letting your children hear that or experience that is really a big deal. Because that has such an impression on me where I could look at my grandmother and she would welcome everyone into her home. Her home was a gathering place where people could eat, especially if they were hungry and couldn't afford groceries. And she just never I'm not gonna say she never, but like even based on what my dad has told me, she just always had an open heart for people. They could come and sit down at her kitchen table and just have a conversation. And there's not a whole lot of people that's like that. And I'm gonna admit that I'm not like that because people get on my nerves after a while. And I just, I hate to admit this, but I just don't like people like that. And maybe that's because I'm a Taurus, and maybe it's because of all the things that I've been through in life. But if I give you my heart, if I give you my time, if I give you my energy, that means a whole lot. It just does. And I'm not saying that my energy is more valuable than anybody else's, but I'm just saying for me to do that, to expend any kind of energy on anybody is really significant. And but my grandmother had so much love to pour out onto people, and that was like her ministry. And so I said all through my teenage years and my 20s that if I had not had my grandmother to pray for me the way she did, that I don't know where I would be, because even though my spirit team was guiding and directing me the whole time, you still have to have somebody on this side in a vessel that believes in you, that believes that their prayers availeth much, that loves the divine, that believes that you are special and you are worthy of their prayers. Because I don't want everybody praying for me. Look, if you don't agree with the fact that I read energy and I pull cards and stuff like that, do not pray that away from me, because I promise you, my spirit team will come for you. When I had an issue with a friend of mine, and I still have a lot of love for her. She's a pastor, and she just, was not in agreement with me learning astrology and things like that. She definitely wouldn't be in agreement with what I do now. And she was a big help to me during my awakening. Surprisingly, she was like she was my rock during that time. And so I felt kind of obligated to agree with what she was telling me. And and because my awakening scared me so much, and because it was so tumultuous, that for a slight moment I was like, maybe I should, get back into church. And so like in her mind, I needed, it was like, I'm not gonna speak for her, but I feel like in her mind she was like between seeing what happened with me with the awakening to starting to really delve into my my whole chart and all these other things that were going on in my life. Like, she probably, from a Christian perspective, she was probably looking at it like I needed deliverance, or I needed like an exorcism or some shit. Yeah, it's always for entertainment purposes only. But she had a place in my life. Like, we had been friends for like probably 15 plus years, I think. And so, she still has a place in my heart, of course, but we just don't see eye to eye. And so, with the direction that I'm going in, I just don't see how we could ever align again, based on dramatically different beliefs. And it's unfortunate But sometimes you just have that as that's how it is, and it's no hard feelings, it's no love lost. um she was there for me financially when I needed her to be. She was there for me when I needed her to help me with like just that whole process and everything. um and so, ultimately, even though we had differences in how we operated and thinking, she still came through for me when I absolutely needed it. And so, for that, I'm never going to take that away from people when they were there for me at certain times in my life. But, that's a message for someone where it's like, okay, this person doesn't align with you and where you're going in life, and everybody can't go. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that the other person is a bad person. It just means that you have to sever ties at certain points because everything just does not align. And so, um, and look, the support card came out. My spirit team is so amazing. And it says, seek support. You don't have to bear everything alone. And so I feel like spirit is saying that your soul tribe will change over time. And that's okay. There were people that I went to school with that, or not necessarily went to school with, but people I was cool with that were like, well, where these gifts come from and when did you get them and all this other stuff. And I was like, I'm not like, just by the energy that you're giving me around it, I'm not even going to entertain that question. I'm just going to keep it moving. Okay. Yeah. Compassion. Spirit is like, regardless of whether people are, led astray or not, if they show support and compassion for you at any point in time, that may have been part of their soul contract with you. And you never know, like with the way that things are shifting and changing with the times, those people may actually come around. Because my feeling is, if you're a pastor and you actually believe in the law of attraction, your ass believe in all the shit that we doing here. You believe in manifestation, you believe in magic, you believe in what's the word I'm looking for? I'm hearing incantations, okay? And all of that could be considered spell work. And we have the resilience card, and I've been talking about being resilient from the part of your life that was full of shit. Yeah, building that strength. And these mountains represent challenges. And when you reach the top of that mountain, and this is giving Lion King energy. So watching the Lion King may be significant. But that resilience is what develops your strength, or vice versa. Your inner strength is boundless. Unleash it. Yep. Didn't I talk about a rebirth earlier? I said it's definitely going to be a rebirth. The death and the rebirth. and that is nothing but transformation. And like I said, even though I had a really rough awakening, even though it like just was something I could never imagine, it transformed me so much so quickly that I would do it all over again. I really would. Because Spirit is saying the joy that's on the other side of that rebirth, it is unimaginable how much joy there is on the other side. And I feel like Spirit is saying that the part of the reason why a lot of us are stuck in this energy is because we're resisting the change, we're resisting the transformation, we're resisting that rebirth. And you know, when um when a caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, it totally liquefies. So it goes from being solid matter to being not like nothing but liquid. Okay. And so sometimes you literally have to transform on that level in order to be prepared for the next level. And I'm hearing when you completely melt down to liquid, it allows you to basically form to your environment, form like take on the form of your container is what I'm hearing. And that allows you to like have a more fluid life, have a more flexible life. You're more adaptable. That's where that resilience comes in. And so it's, you know, it's important. It's an important part of life. And the more we resist it, the more it's going to come hard and fast. Because when you have established a certain date to have your awakening, it's going to hit that date. And so if you haven't prepared, if you haven't done the work, if you have not progressively worked up to that, I mean, now granted, when you have big ancient energy and you have a really big mission and purpose, the big awakening is really inevitable. But of course, it doesn't have to be as massive if you're doing the work ahead of time. And I really feel like that's what saved me tremendously, is doing the work ahead of time, because I could definitely see how an awakening could have somebody stuck in that mode, especially like we were talking about the other day, dealing with mental health and traditional psychology and therapy and medication and all that stuff. And like I can always tell when someone's having an awakening because of the way they talk. And traditional psychology looks at that as like, you know, multiple personality disorder, bipolar, you name it, schizophrenia. And so if you are not preparing, honey, and I was talking about not managing money well. And so, yeah, like the fear of money not growing, like when you invest it or bury it, and I'm feeling the energy of maybe you made a bad investment. And so that has compromised your feeling about money. And you know, it has a lot to do, our poverty mentality has a lot to do with how we grew up. And so it's not just an easy fix. That's not something that you can just get rid of in a day, because that's the stuff that you grew up around when you like were between 0 and 7, when you were establishing your personality and your paradigms of thought and all of those things. That is the pivotal time when all of those mind concepts and ideas about the world become, solid. And so I've been talking about an awakening, and that is basically a tower moment when things get shaken up and you're forced now to see things from a different perspective. You're forced now to pull yourself up out of the tower moment. And I'm not here trying to scare anybody. I know this isn't a popular message right now, but I guess Spirit needs to talk about it. And we've got the Four of Cups out here twice. So Spirit is really going hard in paint tonight. Like, whoever is in this energy, you need to wake your ass up. And Mary J said, if you looked in my life, you see what I've seen. Life can be only what you make it. When you're feeling down, you should never fake it. And this is giving the energy of feeling down but faking it, because you see all the aesthetics around homegirl. This is like, you in Cali, you taking a picture at the beach, you posting up on Instagram like everything's peachy keen, but meanwhile, all this other shit going on. The divine's like, we trying to give you the love that you want and you need, but you playing. She said, you won't really need no one else except for the man above. And because he'll give you love. Wasn't I just talking about that? But see, I don't agree with the man part, but we just gonna roll with it. Excuse me. And Spirit is saying, you are actually in the Knight of Pentacles energy. However, she said, if you don't believe in me, just believe in he, because he'll give you peace of mind. And you'll see the sunshine. But if you're really in this energy, but you don't realize it, and I talk about how the horse is like movement forward, being carried by the divine, being supported by the divine. So Spirit is saying, you are in this energy. You just have to realize it and acknowledge it. And Spirit is saying, you need to be able to recognize what you have. And that goes back to, we were talking about gratitude. Having gratitude helps you to see where you are. It helps you to see where the divine is. And I want to talk about this because Spirit has been talking to me about this. I can be very stubborn, like Lotus said. I'm a fixed earth sign and can be very stubborn. But what spirit has been talking about, and she said, I'm talking about dealing with the pressure. I'm talking about letting it burn. And that's essentially what I've been talking about with this collective. Spirit is like, stop focusing on where the help is coming from. It doesn't matter if you get help from your sister or your cousin or your best friend or whatever. If that person has the means to help you, now we're not talking about asking someone to help you who would be helping you to their detriment. Um, but spirit is like, we're trying to teach you how to be able to receive. And that is major because a lot of us back in the day were made to feel like we every time we asked for money, it was a problem. And especially if that energy was given to us from our fathers, like it was always a lecture, it was always a problem if we needed money. I know for me, my mother, as a young child, my mother used to force me, she would scream at me to call my father and ask him for money. Now, mind you, when my parents got divorced, my dad was, providing what he was supposed to provide through the courts. But my mother was a poor money manager and she would need money all the time. And so when I would get on the phone and call him for the money, his energy was responding to my mother, but I was the middle person and I was on the receiving end of that energy. So instead of just going directly to my mother, if she called, she would put me in that position, knowing that he was going to be pissed off that we were calling for money. But she felt like if I did it, then he would feel obligated to do it. That's one of the worst things you can do to your children. One of the worst. Aside from demonizing the other parent to your child, which is something that my mother did as well, um to trying to making them forcing them to call their parent for money is the worst, because it really did a number on me. It put me in the energy of being stressed out every time I had to ask for help. It put me in the energy of just trying to suffer in silence. Now, that shit didn't happen when I had kids at home because, I had to damn sure humble myself and ask for all the help that I needed, because I wasn't going to put my children in the position my mother put me in, where she had family members and she could ask for help, but and she said turn the lights on. We had no electricity for weeks on end. We had no running water for weeks on end. We would have now my mother couldn't even afford groceries, and she would take me over her girlfriend's house to have dinner at night. I mean, it was just some of the things, like the decision making or the thought process my mother had at times was just crazy. And this is not to like trauma dump on people or like trigger anyone, but maybe this is what spirit is trying to do, as far as if you resonate with that type of treatment, that spirit is saying we really need to get out of this energy of being left out in the cold, financially especially. And having to just fight and I'm hearing turn tricks to get what we needed. No, we don't have to do anything to like undercut other people in order to be able to get what we need to get done. And that's, being able to receive is a big thing for women, especially because there are men still out here who really want to take care of a woman. There are men out here who are real providers and protectors and just want to love you, just want to protect you, just want to make your life easier. And that is a real thing out here. That's a real possibility. And so I feel like I'm talking to the people who have kind of given up on love, and maybe giving up on the divine, and maybe giving up on believing in miracles and believing in true love and believing that they are worthy of love. Because when so many people put you in a situation where it's hard for you to love yourself because of all the rejection and all of the shade and all of the disrespect, it's challenging to love and accept yourself. And all of the bullying I'm hearing. And my mother bullied the hell out of me, and I didn't even realize it at the time. And so I feel like a lot of us are like that, where people will say little underhanded, manipulative shit to you, and you'll just kind of like think to yourself for a minute, like, was that some fuck shit that the person just said? Was that some shade? But like for a long time, I looked at my mother from the standpoint of she loves me. She would never do anything to hurt me. She was very into the community, very politically connected. And so her image from the outside was immaculate, damn near. Like, oh, everybody loves your mom. She's so helpful. She's so generous. She's always doing something for somebody. She would give the shirt off of her back. And I believe that that was one of my mother's most beautiful gifts, is that she would give you her last. Now, there was some whole other shady shit going on, but she truly would try to help people the best that she could. And that was definitely to her detriment. And so, yeah, it was some old shady shit. Okay. But thank you all for the follows. And so, yeah. It's, I just keep it real because I want people to have real feelings about stuff and not feel guilty. If you had a trifling ass parent and they have transitioned, it's okay to be honest about your relationship. It's okay to be honest about your feelings. It's okay to be honest about the fuck shit that these people did, because so many times a person will pass and it's just all about the positive things about that person, and oh, that was my mother, and you so depressed and distraught because you have this societal concept of what the mother-child relationship should look like. Nah. I have told my children, if I'm toxic, you have every right to block me, not communicate with me, whatever. Because for a long time, I felt like I had to stay connected to my mother because that was my mother. I had to reciprocate the energy that she gave me in supporting me as a single parent. But when I look back on the fact that she banded with my ex-husband who did me ultra dirty, and her reasoning behind it was because she empathized with him because she struggled with the divorce from my father and he's struggling with a divorce. And I was like, there's no way that I would sacrifice my child for somebody who just was horrible all around. No way would I do that. And so here we go with this. I mean, this has come out 3 times now. Who the hell am I talking to right now? Who is in this energy? Hell, it might be me. No, it's not me. But who is in this energy? Because this card done came out 3 different times with 3 different decks. It is not me, Tom. Spirit is like, come on, y'all. We got to keep it moving, okay? We got to keep it moving because we have a destiny to fulfill. Somebody need to do some root chakra work. If you need to, you can do some frequencies that help with the support of the root chakra. You can eat red fruits and vegetables. We got more conflict and defeat. And this is what I've been talking about, the whole collective, getting out of that energy of the past. And that's where that saying comes from. Your past does not determine your future. Because also too, like I was having a conversation today about the fact that people allow their past to hinder their future. And this is what I have repeatedly encountered in the dating scene. The recurring scenario is a decent guy who really wants to just love on somebody, provide and protect, but they have been traumatized by someone who took their kindness for weakness and or manipulated them for their money. And now we're not talking about if you struggling financially and you know these dudes be out here like, I'm not doing this and this until she does XYZ, and we only going for coffee. Now if you are just trying to get a vibe for the person and you want to make sure that y'all are like, you know, attracted to each other, it's cool to start out with some coffee or, you know, something real quick and light. Because you don't, if you, like, there's a lot of catfish that goes on out here. And if you have plans to take someone to a nice restaurant and you roll up on their ass and they catfished you, shit. When you go and have coffee, you have no obligation to sit down and eat with that person. Because my thing is, if you got the audacity to lie on your profile and then show up, you got even more audacity to show up as the false person because you don't put pictures up from when you were in high school. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Because that's blatant lying. So, yeah, nah. Yeah, the universe is supporting you and guiding you and loving you. Spirit is saying stop suffering in silence. Talk to somebody. Talk to your spirit guides. Yeah, Spirit is saying there's a difference between solitude and suffering in silence. Solitude is going within, is building your strength so that you're like a pillar. But suffering in silence is this type of energy. And Spirit is like, if you gonna go in solitude, we are here for you. But Spirit is like, you can't even see us. You can't even acknowledge us when you in this energy. And I don't know if y'all can see on this card, but there's like figments of other figures here on the wall. And so that's like Spirit is right there. But you so focused on being depressed and discontented and going downward that you can't even see. You can't even see the light behind you. You can't see Spirit behind you and supporting you. You said, right, why is you spamming, honey? Hi, can you tell me my reading? Did you send some money? What? Tom, you a mess talking about catfish and hush puppies. Okay, well, I mean, okay. Did you send it to Venmo? Okay. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. You send it to Return of the Jedi? Return of the Jedi. I didn't get your payment. I did not get a payment to Venmo. That's why I'm asking you, did you send it to the right person? Because I don't see it. You done spam these comments and I ain't even get it. But seriously, the energy that you're bringing, I'm not really feeling it. Okay. Cause I'm like, this is not. It looks like she had just joined again. But we ain't getting no payment. Child. What the hell is going on tonight between your live? Yeah. Cause like, why is she spamming? No, you can, yeah, we can block her because I'm just like, why is she spamming the comments and didn't even send payment? Like, why? That shit had me over here uncomfortable. Like, what's going on? I don't like stuff like that. That's a horrible energy to be in. Like, that's basically the energy that I've been talking about. And that type of energy is the type of energy that'll get a reading and won't even listen to the damn reading. I feel like it was supposed to be a love reading. Because it unfortunately it be people like that want love readings and they don't need to be in nobody's damn relationship. I can tell you that right now. Absolutely not. By absolutely no means. Like, ma'am, you don't need to be. And see, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Is energies like that will be in a relationship with a good dude and then just completely ruin that man for the next person. And I'm over it. I'm over it. And on top of that, she got the nerve to have a screen name like God's daughter. My spirit team was like, whoa, wait a fucking minute. I was over here trying to keep calm, and they in the background like, hold the fuck up. That's probably why the damn payment didn't go through. Cause they're like, hell no. Cause they know me. 9 times out of 10, I will do a reading if someone has paid for it. Even if the energy is off, because I feel like the person needs to get a real reading and all of that shit. But no, my spirit team was like, nah. And look, abuse and neglect, the first card out. Yeah, no. Spirit's like, fuck that. Don't bring that I've been abused and neglected all my life energy in this live. Not today. You see how fast I said. Right, because you weren't saying much and then all of a sudden you like, she left. I'm like, what the hell going on? I'm like, what the fuck is really going on? Yeah, Spirit said, our home ain't here. This ain't our home. Our home is in outer space, honey. So if you think you about to come up in here and act like a damn Spirit is saying, come up in here crawling on your belly. Look, I don't even know. I'm not even sure what that means. I think that has like a demonic connotation. But baby, I feel like it's related to the snake. There's a difference between a snake and a serpent. Yeah, and like I said, it was probably going to be a love reading. because people, I be wanting people to come up here and talk to me about their children or their relationship with their children or the relationship with their husband or their wife or their, career and stuff like that. Folk be coming with that exact energy because they like, I got a new boo and I'm trying to see if this is my person and I gotta. No, it is not. No. Because when you got this new boo and abuse and neglect, like I would venture to say that she the one abusing and neglecting people. No, absolutely not. Spirit said, yeah, this child gonna have that man on a damn roller coaster ride. So if she know what my YouTube is, she can go check out her reading on YouTube. Because Spirit is like, you want a reading? You want to spam the comments and get a reading? We gonna give you a damn reading. Spirit said, if you in debt, that is not the time to date because you gonna try to take advantage of somebody who got money. And also, too, people come with that energy because they want to see if the spell work that they did on that person worked. Because they're trying to get that, they're trying to love bomb the person so they can take advantage of them for their money. Yeah, that's the abuse and neglect right there. Spirit said, fuck that. You ain't about to take this divine being on no roller coaster ride because homeboy is a divine being. And I feel like it's a same-sex relationship, actually. And Spirit say, you thought you was about to take this person on a damn roller coaster ride? Abso-fucking-lutely not. We not from here. Organized crime, like I said, spell work all day long, trying to trap out this person to take advantage of their money. And I'm hearing success. Look, this is what I was talking about the other day when I was talking about even if you don't have money, and you have an abundance of creativity and energy, and you have an abundance of gifts, it's only a matter of time. And so you have to treat yourself and your energy as if you already have the physical material abundance. You can't just share your energy with any and everybody because anyone that attaches to you now is going to eventually be a part of when that flow starts flowing. And so you can't have a situation where you are not doing what you need to do to protect your energy. And Tom, that was not a bot because she kept saying, I'm Carlisha or whatever her name was. Did you get a payment? Bots don't move like that. Bots be in here like, can we follow each other? Can we do this? No, Carlisha had real person energy. They be in here talking about, can we support each other? I guess, you know what, but what I have done before is I have not looked at some people's payment. So she was banking on me not checking Venmo ahead of time and doing her fucking reading with no payment. And I just saved her from a lot of damn karma, because I promise you, if I had, out of the generosity of my heart, given that bitch my damn reading and she ain't pay for it, my spirit team is already on it. My spirit team is already on it. And when I'm talking, right, for entertainment purposes only, and when I talk about organized crime, it's organized if you have forethought and intention behind whatever you're doing. And crime is to be interpreted loosely as well, because when you're talking about a crime, it could be just simply mistreating someone. It could be simply just, like I said, trying to go into a relationship, trying to do spell work on someone, and trying to trap someone into a situation so that they can take advantage of them financially. And the problem with that is a lot of people succumb to that, and then by the time they get out of it, they've already been taken down and through there so much that they just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be a player then. Cause these hoes ain't taking me seriously. And that's for entertainment purposes only. Yeah. Spirit is like, the challenges in relationships put people in a really compromised energy. And what's happening is divine beings who are supposed to be in divine unions are going through tumultuous relationships like this, because it's supposed to be strengthening them and creating more resilience and preparing them for their divine masculine or feminine. But they're struggling. They struggling with climbing these mountains. And just like in that other card with the lion at the top, you got to be able to climb these mountains to get to the top, to see the terrain and to see things from a higher perspective and to see your life from a higher perspective. And so as you're climbing up the mountain, as you are traversing the challenges, you can't focus on much else. You just focused on the challenge. And so that's why Spirit is like, now is a time to transition from focusing on the challenges to focusing on what your life is unfolding to be. Oh, Lord. Like I said, divine unions, but birthing divine beings for a high calling. And Spirit is like, this could be us, but you playing because you dealing with all these karmics, and instead of navigating those challenges like a G, you said that's probably why I set up, because it was dark, and we know with my stomach not up, it's a problem. Exactly. Get that baby out of here. Oh my God. Honey. Yeah, in this case, Spirit is like, you'll be able to rebound. Just calm down. You'll be able to get back to it, into a loving, happy, healthy relationship. And Spirit is saying, don't let anybody, and I mean anybody, tell you that you don't deserve the type of love and relationship that you deserve. Because even though people have been married for a long time and they seemingly have a great relationship, everything ain't cracked up to what it appears to be. It's just not. And people love to create facades, and they love to create these images where it appears to be one kind of way, but it's really not. And they know that it's not, but in their delusion, they are going to continue to portray the lie that their relationship is something that it's not. And will try to come at you and tell you that you shouldn't be doing certain things because you don't know how to pick the right person. I was told that I didn't know how to pick people, and then I was told that I don't need to get married. I just need to be in a domestic partnership for the rest of my life. And I'm just like, but you've been divorced and you've been married for 45 years. So like, why all of a sudden am I relegated to just a domestic partnership? Like there was no real justification behind it. I could see if the person was like, honey, you about to be making so much money that you don't need to get married. Look at Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. Look at such and such. Look at such and such. Now, if we're having a conversation like that, cool. But this same person that's telling me this doesn't even believe in me. Doesn't really believe in my gifts, doesn't believe in me, none of that shit. So I'm like, where we going with this? I don't understand. You said, hell, don't give me relationship advice when you ain't never had a right, that too. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. And that's what happens when people do stuff. They it'll be very attractive females too that take advantage of these men. And it's really sad because it becomes a situation where men don't trust attractive women. So it's like they already don't trust people because they feel like it's going to be a money thing, but then they don't trust attractive females, and it's because these daggone hussies have used their attractiveness and their lady parts to entice folks into doing stuff that they wouldn't normally do. But it's not just on the females. It is imperative that men use their discernment and make sure that they are evaluating the situation properly before diving into a full-fledged relationship. Moving in together, and then you over here looking like this, talking about it was an accident. I didn't mean to. But now you living with the person. Now what you gonna do? Because even with a domestic partnership, in domestic partnerships, 9 times out of 10, that person isn't gonna leave their partner anything. So whereas if you were in actual marriage and there was a true investment in me or you or the person, then each of us would be thinking about our spouses first. But when you just in a domestic partnership, you still really just thinking about yourself essentially. And that person may leave everything they have to their kids. You may leave everything you have to your kids. And I mean, to be honest with you, when I have money like that, maybe my opinion will be different. Who is that? Kyron? Tell Kyron to quit texting me while I'm online. Kyron is a mess. I'm surprised he not in there talking to you whispering. Oh my god. But yeah. Spirit says stop trying to meet folks on Facebook dating. Facebook dating is a no-go. You said no, he's throwing flip-flops across the room. Lord. And Spirit said, even if you think it's a damn secret that you on Facebook dating and letting people inbox you, letting folks inbox you on Facebook, it is not a secret because the divine sees all. They say you're going to find your family, don't worry. But it's not going to be through Facebook. Girl, I'm on Facebook dating, but they keep matching me with old. I promise you, the majority of the men that they have suggested for me are like 70 and 80 years old. I'm like, there is absolutely no way that y'all thought that I was interested in a damn 80-year-old. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, folks really be greedy, be trying to they out here trying to take advantage of folks, trying to cover up the fact that they don't even like the person. Yeah, no. And Spirit's like, your secret is not safe with us because we gonna tell it. We gonna call you all the way out. Yes, they are calling me out. They absolutely are calling me out. And look, and clearly they calling me out because we talking about a female. We also talking about homegirl that was in here spamming. And that was the other thing. She wasn't a bot because she was actually responding. It's like she was responding to my questions. Bots just post the same damn thing over and over again. They not trying to respond to nothing. Yes, like I said, the fact that I did not do her reading was a lucky break for her. Totally. And Spirit said, come up in here if you want to, acting crazy, because Lotus is going to clean you all the way out. Right. We definitely need to block Ella. Yeah, I done learned my lesson already. Okay. Every time I get on live, I learn something new. And we're not about to do no trickster energy up in here. Is that Kyra? Oh my Lord. Talk about girl, no. Oh my God. Yeah, Spirit is like, you deserve courtship. You deserve to be whole and happy in a relationship. And you deserve all the love that that person can bring. And it is cuffing season. Again, thank you. So me and the collective will be getting cuffed. Thank you. Oh, okay. Kyron up in here talking big smack. Yeah, Spirit said, we don't need you to be here to read up on what you all about. We don't. And the other thing we not gonna do, the other thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to have people coming in this live to try to get readings on people that they think wants to be with someone that's in the live. We're definitely not doing that. Whether it be me or anybody else that's up in here, you will not be getting readings on people who you feel like is trying to be with somebody up in here. Because like I said, we not from here. This is the second time this has come out. We are not from here. Okay? And that's why folks run away. It's no coincidence that me and Lotus had crazy folks in our live today. Yeah, she left. She ran away. Straight up, ran away. And my spirit team is like, my spirit team, my ancestors are like the audacity. Sir, ma'am, your audacity is out of this world, okay? Yes, thank you, because we need Ella out of here too. And look at the card that came up. I was just saying that the person was not going to get no reading. And that's the thing that people be trying to test me. You going to have the nerve to come to my live and try to get a reading from me about someone who you know, who you think is interested in me. That doesn't work. That doesn't ever work. Where they do that at? Where they do that? That's wild. And that's why that whole love reading was about to be a straight backfire. She would have been up in here wanting her damn money back. Because my spirit team was about to give it all the way to her. Mama Ella's back. You said here in the spiritual street. Oh my God. And the song says, if you ask me, I'm ready. So, you know, whoever it is that has told someone that they ready to marry me, I'm ready too. Hell. So we can be out here like Bonnie and Clyde in the most healthy, non-drama based, trauma based. I can't even talk. But yeah, I'm ready. Me and the collective is ready to grow old with you. Don't even have 2 cents to her name. Correct. Spirit said that spell work was not going to work because we are alive and well. We are here to breathe another day. We are here to love another day. Let me tell you something. Folks be fell for you slowly. What you mean? Oh my God. Excuse me. Yo, I'm starting, and that's why I was saying earlier that I don't even like people. Because people be on some real wicked shit. And like I said, we got partner in crime, Bonnie and Clyde. This is how tight the collective and their person is about to be. So if anybody thought that they was going to try to get in between and in betwixt, it's a no. It's by BB Night. Huh? And then here he go with this 6'7", child. And I just said child, and look what came out. Oh my Lord. Look, use protection now. Use protection. And if you've been having problems with fertility, Spirit is saying do a cleanse, a physical cleanse and a spiritual cleanse. Okay, well, that's a good sign, right, Carmen? And see, this, when people are jealous of the relationship, they are willing to go and mess with your person and won't even like your person, don't even want your person like that. But they are so jealous and so intimidated by the fact that you and this person could really have an amazing relationship, partnership, build together. Kyron, you might want to leave because I got some. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Look, sneaky link. What did I just say? What did I just say? And Spirit said, the collective's person is like, hell no. That's why that energy was so frantic. Can you do my reading? 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 Yeah. Because the collective said your person ain't having it. And ain't. And will never. And scrambling, folks scrambling. Because when people have ill intentions for folks, they have a hard time not revealing themselves to that person. So they can pretend like they gonna, take this person on a roller coaster ride for their money or whatever, but nah, they on it. That's why the spell is wearing off and the practitioner is going to get in trouble. Absolutely. And look at this. Them D-Rugs got this person on demon time. Do you hear me? Only somebody that's on some shit would come up in my live and spam the damn comments, talk about, can you do my reading? You might want to go back and rethink that one, because it's not gonna look good for you in the long run. And I'm not threatening anybody with harm or anything like that. Look, if it was up to me, I would just let you go on about your way, because I already know that your life is about to take a hard turn to the left. But when it comes to my spirit team and the type of stuff that they be on, I have absolutely no control, okay? I have no control, and that's for entertainment purposes only. Because if anything, she should have redirected her and did a self-love working. And that's my point. That's my point exactly. If you want to do spell work on anybody, it should be on yourself. Because if you actually do spell work on yourself and you heal yourself, that may put you in a position where you with somebody that you actually like and love and want to be with, and has money and can take care of you and all of the things. And you can actually be productive in life instead of just being off of yourself. That's crazy. And look what came out. Spiritual union. Spirit said, when it's a divine union, can't nobody take asunder. Because we have done the work necessary to heal. And there is nothing but prosperity and wish fulfillment. Because when I tell you, when two divine beings come together and put their heads together, and do you see how their heads form the Vesica Pisces? I've looked it up before, but I'm going to have to look it up again because Spirit is bringing this to my attention. When the Vesica Pisces comes together, that is a union that is going to transform this world. You said, hell, I did it to be myself. As a practitioner, it's the only working I'm willing to do unless there's justification. Yeah. And honey, even if there's justification, I'm like, I let my whole ass spirit team handle it. Because like I was telling the young lady the other day, You could be totally misinterpreting the situation. You could be misinterpreting the dream. You could be misinterpreting the energy. And if you think that you are going to do something to someone energetically that has done absolutely nothing to you, honey, that they don't, like, spirit does not, I would say spirit looks at ignorance based on your level of experience with spirituality. So like if you're an experienced practitioner and even with a lot of experience, even with being super powerful, there's still always a chance for doing something that could end up creating a situation. And she said, bitch, telepathic. She said, abracadabra, these bitches know I got standards. Oh my God. Yeah, I leave that all up to the divine. I don't even worry about my protection because I'm like, they got this wholeheartedly. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, Isla. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Spirit is saying there has been heartache and loss between both of you, but that's okay. Cause when you heal that sacral chakra, and the two of you are coming together to fulfill a very high calling. Spirit is saying we honor the sacrifices that you made to get it out of the mud, to navigate your emotions masterfully, and to come out on top, I'm hearing. And it doesn't mean that your emotions just completely go away, because you see half of her body is still under the water, and that's some murky water. But now the worst part is behind her, and she can now see the light. She can see the benefits of all the sacrifices that she has made or he has made. And this is the second time we got a rest card out today. Spirit's like, go on and rest up. Yeah, this is a collective. Spirit is saying, go ahead and rest up. Because it's about to be on and popping like popcorn. Rest up, not arrest. Yeah, Spirit said this divine union is going to ignite your passion. And that's how the money gets generated. Because when the two of you bring your creativity together as one, and you know, like the fish is what represented Christ, and so that's like basically Christ consciousness coming together, the masculine and feminine coming together, the masculine and feminine being balanced and aligned. That's a beautiful thing. We talking about abundance in every single area of your life. I love it. All right, y'all. I'm about to hop off of him. Because your girl is tired. I was tired when I got on here. Thank you, Lotus, for helping me moderate. Thank you, Tom, for helping me. You've been sleeping 8+ hours. That's good. Because that's really how much sleep we're supposed to get. A lot of nights, that's why, like, during the week when I have to work, I'm gonna have to start getting on earlier so I can get off earlier. Because if I go to sleep at 10 o'clock and then have to get up at 3, and really going to sleep at 10 o'clock really ain't going to sleep at 10 o'clock, because if I get off alive close to 10, I'm really not going to sleep until like 11. So I got to do better. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Lotus is helping me get my cooking skills together. Okay. I'm going to be making some greens tomorrow. And it's going to be lots of fun. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Good night. Let me know how them greens turn out. I sure will. Not playing some greens. I don't do well with I want to say horticulture. I actually need some property to do that. I mean, I know you can probably plant them in a pot, but I have turf in the backyard right now because that's where the dog goes potty. Okay. Yeah, no, we're not there yet. And I don't think I'm ever going to be there, honestly, because I need a groundskeeper. Child, this is the desert, and also too, I got a little sip of a backyard back there because this is apartment living. And so the dog has the little dog run back there so he can go potty. But other than that, But if I get a groundskeeper when I get my mansion, my main home, because I'm going to have multiple homes around the world, the main home is going to have like a greenhouse, and I'm going to have a groundskeeper, and they going to cultivate all my fruits and vegetables, okay? So, all right, y'all. Good night. You can do microgreen. That's a lot. That's why I need plants like that don't die easily, because I'll be done forgot to water the thing thinking it's artificial. He said, no, you're going out there and learn. I really should though. Because if we ever have to live off of the land, I mean, my goal is to live off of the land anyway. Like, I don't want to have to go to the grocery store for much of nothing. And I'll also want to have more of a plant-based diet. So, it is? Okay. Yeah, my mom and my grandmother were into that. My grandmother was actually part of a damn garden club. She was a part of a bridge club and a garden club. You just needed some love from your mama until the stink bugs eat your food. Not the stink bugs. And the bunnies. You say and the bunnies. What you doing? What noise was that? Oh my Lord. All right, y'all. Good night. Them stink bugs love your tomato.